Alright, what is going on, guys? Got one last breakdown for UFC Vegas 71, another one that was way independent, so I'm going to try to go super fast here because I've tried to film this video like 3 times. Technical difficulties are preventing me from doing it, so yeah, it's been a pain in the ass, but Volkov has a reach advantage of 5 inches. He's also 5 inches taller. I guess I'll start with him. So obviously he's fought the who's who in the heavyweight division, and what this fight's going to come down to is Volkov's going to have the advantage on the feet. All going to come down to takedown defense and Romanov's cardio. So how good is Volkov's takedown defense? I think it's pretty good. It's looked better in recent years. He's really bulked up a little bit. And, obviously it's concerning that he was taken down right away by Tom Aspinall, just shoots a double leg and locks up that submission. If you're on the Romanov side, you're probably looking at that one. But the other one where he was taken down a lot was against Curtis Blades, took him down several times, but wasn't able to finish him. In terms of get-ups, he's pretty good at getting up if he's close to the fence, but when he does get flattened out or he's pulled away from the cage, he does struggle to get up, tends to get held there. So, if Romanov can get him to that position, he's going to be in trouble because Romanov has a very heavy ground and pound that he uses to set up the submissions. But in terms of how good is his takedown defense overall, I think it's a little bit underrated. I think the numbers skew it a little bit. I don't know what the exact numbers are. I don't look at overall stats for UFC fights. I just think the sample size is too small. You just got to watch the tape. But yeah, I think that it's pretty good overall. And for Romanov, it's pretty simple. He's going to try to get a big movement takedown. He's known for slamming his opponents down, big movements, judo throws, things like that. And then he gets into this heavy ground and pound, and he has a good submission game that gets opened up once he does that. He's finished most of his fights in the first or second round, and if he doesn't do that, he tends to gas out. You can't say that about him in his last fight, though, because it was an altitude card where pretty much everybody was gassing out. And frankly, that should have been a draw anyway, because it was a 10-8 in the first round for Romanov, and then it should have been 2-3 for Tabora. But you look at these wins, all solid wins in the first or second round against the lower level of the heavyweight division, with DeLima probably being the best one out of those lower level guys. But, the fight that looms large here for me is the Juan Espino fight. Espino pretty decent, comes into the UFC a little bit too late to really make an impact, but, a solid matchup, a tough opponent to have, and Romanov struggles to take him down, takes him down a couple times, but Espino gets up. Espino gets a couple takedowns of his own. First round's really close. Espino gets the second round, and Romanov just looks absolutely gassed at that point. And then going into the third round, a low blow happens, and Romanov says he couldn't continue. So a lot of people think that loss is a little bit suspect, think that Romanov was just trying to get a bailout there with the nut shot. We don't know, but what I do know is that Espino was looking like he was going to win that fight because Romanov was totally gassed. So that is kind of the problem. He uses these big movements in his takedowns, and if he doesn't get the finish early, he looks absolutely exhausted. He did lose some weight going into the Tabora fight. I think the Sherman fight too. He's a little bit slimmer, but he seems like he's put that weight back on because I wonder if they were worried about him being a little bit smaller. But he does carry a lot of fat. I do think that this guy can still reinvent himself and add layers to his game to fix his gas tank. So I don't think he's a complete product. But right now, that is the pros and cons of his game. So we look at the odds. Volkov, a small underdog at plus 125. Romanov, minus 145. The money was coming in on Romanov prior to today, but now money seems to be creeping back in on Volkov. And I'm going to be on the Volkov side. Again, it was one where I really wanted to see the weigh-ins, just going back and forth on this one all week. But, you can look at the physicals on paper, but sometimes you look at the weigh-ins and see what they look like matched up with each other and see if you can try to get a read. And I just think that Volkov is, significantly bigger than him. And if Romanov is going to try these big movement takedowns, he could gas himself out, and then even if he wins rounds 1 and 2, Volkov could be live for the finish in round 3, or Volkov could just outwork him, stuff the takedowns in round 2, win a decision in rounds 2 and 3. But yeah, I'm just going to take the underdog shot. I think it's a little bit weird matchmaking. They're really just throwing Romanov up a level in competition here. So that is another part of it. He just kind of lacks that signature win, and then you're just getting Alexandr Volkov, who's very experienced. And like I said, I think that Alexander Romanov has a lot of potential. He's pretty young. He could definitely, add some tools to his game, go back to the drawing board if he loses this one. But I just think that Alexander Volkov is, first of all, I think this is kind of a dog or pass situation. So Alexander Volkov is the side, I guess what I'm trying to say. So thanks for watching, guys. Sure, subscribe and take it easy.